Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives, which is usually shortened to Bloom's taxonomy, is a framework for classifying learning objectives. Bloom identified 3 domains of educational activities or learning. These include the cognitive domain, which is focused on intellectual skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and creating a knowledge base. It was the first domain created by Bloom and his team. The affective domain focuses on the attitudes, values, interests, and self-growth of students. The psychomotor domain focuses on physical accomplishment of tasks and movement and skills performance. Bloom then assigned to the cognitive domain a system of learning made up of 6 levels. The pyramid graphic shown here on the left-hand side details his original 6 levels, which are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. In 2001, Anderson and Krathwohl revised the taxonomy, and this iteration is what most educators refer to when talking about Bloom's taxonomy. Refer to the pyramid graphic on the right-hand side to view these revisions. The biggest change was a shift from nouns to verbs. Other notable changes are the replacement of knowledge for remember at the bottom level, the movement of evaluate to the top of the pyramid, and the replacement of synthesis with create. Looking at either the 1956 or the 2001 version of the taxonomy, you will see that the 6 levels of objectives are organized by hierarchy, moving from lower order thinking skills at the bottom of the pyramid to higher order thinking skills at the top. It is important to choose the appropriate level of learning because as you align learning objectives with assessments in learning activities and instructional materials, the level you choose directly influences the type of assessment that best works to measure your students' learning, as well as the learning activities and instructional materials you want to use to implement and facilitate that learning. Let's look a bit more closely at Bloom's 6 cognitive categories. All 6 represent skills and abilities lying along a continuum from simple to complex and concrete to abstract. Remembering involves the recall of specifics and universalities, methods and processes, or the recall of a pattern, structure, or setting. Understanding is knowing what is being communicated and being able to explain the ideas and concepts related to what is being communicated. Applying is the use of information in new situations. Analyzing is breaking down information into elements or parts or drawing connections among ideas. Evaluating is justifying a position or a decision, and creating is producing an original work. The chart shown here provides an expansive list of action verbs that align with Bloom's taxonomy. This chart is invaluable as you craft your own learning objectives. It can help you map out which level of learning you are implementing with various action verbs. A copy of this chart is available on this course page, linked directly below this video. In this slide, I am sharing a really great graphic that can help you build artifacts or evidence that align with Bloom's taxonomy. As you can see, the middle circle of the wheel shows the 6 levels of learning in the cognitive domain. The orange circle shows some measurable, observable verbs that align with Bloom's 6 categories. The green circle of the wheel aligns a variety of artifacts and evidence types that work well for each level of Bloom's. The graphic will be really handy in the following sections of this course as we talk about developing assessments and learning activities and instructional materials. An electronic copy is available on this course page directly below this video. We have been speaking of Bloom's taxonomy as it relates specifically to the cognitive domain of learning. However, even while less commonly used, it should be noted that there also exist learning categories for the affective and psychomotor domains as well. The affective domain has 5 categories, which are moving from the bottom of the pyramid to the top, receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and characterizing. Looking at the pyramid graphic on the right, the categories for the psychomotor domain and moving from the bottom of the pyramid to the top are set, guided response, mechanism, complex overt response, adaptation, and origination. So what is the payoff for using Bloom's taxonomy? There are 2 clear reasons to apply Bloom's taxonomy for crafting your own learning objectives. First, establishing clear, actionable learning objectives sets both instructors and students up for understanding what is expected in the learning activity. Second, Having a clear and organized set of objectives helps instructors to plan and deliver appropriate instruction, design valid assessment tasks and strategies, and ensure that learning activities and instructional materials are aligned with the learning objectives of the course.